All right, good morning. I have no further update on Justin since Monday. Continues to work with the trainers. He's doing everything he can to progress. And it is progressing. Remains week to week. Opening return to practice window is Braxton and Kareem today. And again, we'll see how it goes. We're just, they're open for practice. We'll see how they go as it goes this week and beyond that. And then 23, Johnson, not clear yet for protocol, but he's back to practice today, and then we'll know more after today. The full injury report is after practice today as well. So, big challenge ahead of us this week. Playing the Chargers. Obviously, a lot of skill, a lot of talent on their roster defensively. The two rushers they have is obviously we're gonna have to set our offense up appropriately for that. They're strong in the middle in terms of their tackles as well as their inside backers. The really good on the perimeter in terms of the corners. A lot of experience there. And they got obviously one of the best safeties in ball. So it's going to be a big set of challenges for our offense to be able to set up against these guys. And then defensively, obviously, quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks in the league. We're going against this week. Really good runners. Strong runners, two different types of runners there, but again, tight end level, really solid at the tight end level, and then obviously one of the best receivers in the league we face again this week, and it's a good receiving core as well. So those guys work well together. You guys saw the game against Kansas City; they were in it the whole way, and it was a heck of a battle. But we got a bunch of challenges ahead of us this week, and working into first and second down today, and getting our plan in. Had our meetings already, had some of our walkthroughs, and we'll work through practice, but. With that, I'll open up to questions.
The defense has been on a pretty steady climb throughout the month. What's your sense for what the catalysts are for the production you guys have had?
I would just say, it's really teamwork. It really is. And, working together, having that continuity. I believe getting the secondary pieces back really helps us, in terms of coverage variation, matchups, being able to process through that as, coaches and players. So we're just working through that, and we're working through that this week.
With Roshan, what goes into him practice? What can he do today, and what can't he do?
Yeah, he'll work through today, and then he's just it's just one more hurdle. It's just one more hurdle. They, during the concussion protocol, they have these levels with good reason, and he's just got to go one more hurdle today.
There were some plays on Sunday where Darnell Wright looked like he was hesitant or couldn't use his left arm. Obviously, you guys knew about the shoulder injury, but did you know he was going to have to kind of gut through it to that extent, or was it something that got worse as the game went on?
Yeah, he just worked through it. I commend him, for doing that. He's was in some pain there and worked through it during the course of the day, and again he pushed through it. And I know it didn't look for him as well as he wanted it to at times, but again he's working through that this week, and we'll see where he is. But I just commend him for gutting it through. Being a young guy like that, going against the pass rusher he was going against. So my hat's off to him.
When you went back through the 2-minute drive just before halftime, any self-assessment or reflection on that entire sequence in terms of strategy and clock management and things like that?
Yeah, you look at that, and really there was two plays that stood out with what happened. You get the holding penalty, right, and then you get the sack. So you get two negatives there. And even with that, we still had 19 seconds. We still had some timeouts left, so we still had plenty of time to get the ball 12 yards, I believe it was. So we were still okay in there. And again, the one play that happened, where the clock was going, and the one that everybody talks about. Well, the operation's got to be faster there. We got to get that thing down, get the play call, and go, because it started at 52 seconds, I believe, something like that, 53. So that was out of our zone, just barely out of our zone. So. Yeah, I like the operation. I like the way we did it, the way we managed it, but it's got to be operated a little bit quicker.
In that sequence that you mentioned, when you notice that it's not humming and you've got those timeouts in your pocket, why not hit one there when you've got?
Yeah, I mean, because you're looking at it and you're saying, are they going to get it called faster? And certainly you could have done that, but again, we just got to operate quicker.
Matt, Justin Herbert is potentially one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. In the first 3 games, he was great. Last 3, kind of average, below average. What have opponents done to kind of contain him these last 3 games, and how is your defense set up to maybe replicate whatever teams are doing?
Yeah, I mean, he's played some good defenses, right? Kansas City defense is one of the tops in the league, and obviously Spags is a really good coordinator, does a really good job. So that's with that, and he's played some good ones too before that. But I really believe that it's just about those guys working through it. I really believe that sometimes you adjust and adapt a little bit during the course of the game, and I think those defenses did a good job of that, and I'm sure their offense is going to adjust to it as well.
You guys did a good job of giving Tyson short throws and quick decisions for him to make. Can you win consistently without stretching the field deeper?
Yeah, we're always going to look to stretch vertically and horizontally in the passing game. That's always something that we look at, and really you look at the defense that you're playing. So if they give you those opportunities, vertically, you're going to take those. If it's in the side pockets, in the seam, in the deep part of the field, or it might be intermediate routes too. So, you really are looking at those pockets all the time in the space which the defense gives you, and you attack those spaces.
Now that there's film of him, do you expect the next team you face and then the team after that to maybe not give him what the Raiders were giving him?
I mean, yeah, it's the NFL, right? That's what we do. We offensively and defensively attack what we see. So we got to do a good job of, having some multiplicity there. Changing our looks. Changing what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And that's the NFL. You got to do that week to week for sure.
Have you noticed any? What will you be looking at from Braxton to see if he's going to be ready? What are you going to be looking at in practice?
Just functionality. Is he functional in terms of his movements? And what he's done in terms of and then conditioning. It would be the second thing. And just for him working through it. And when he feels like he's ready, and then the trainers say that he's good to go, and we look at it as coaches, we'll give him the green light. But again, I don't know when that's going to be. He's got 21 days to figure that out, and hopefully it's sooner than later.
Have you noticed any difference in Tyson as he prepares for another game, knowing what he did on Sunday and seeing the film and kind of just saying, okay, I knew I could do it, I showed I could do it, and there's like a different energy around him or anything like that?
I have not. He's been the same guy. He's the same guy as he was last week, and he's prepared. He's focused. He's got that determined look in his eye, and he's just trying to learn the first and second down today, and going through the passes and the different types of passes and the runs, and making sure that he operates well.
What do you appreciate about Khalil Mack and what he's been able to do this season?
Yeah, just he's a pro's pro, just from what I hear about him, and from him being in the building, and then I got a chance to meet him when he was first here, for just a brief stint, and just admired him over the years. His ability to be a consistent pro and produce every year that he's been healthy and he was out there, and he's a handful.
Matt, with Khalil Mack, you guys are going to face this year. Can you take what you did against Crosby last week and apply it to this game plan, or is it different because Joey Bosa is also on the other side?
It's different. There's a different structure a little bit this week. Sometimes it's the same but it's a different structure, so you got to handle it a little bit differently. They do have a couple guys, they got on the other side, which, obviously creates some situations. They pressure a little bit more, so we got to be ready for those types of things. But, yeah, it's a little bit different.
Matt, are you expecting Eddie to try to practice today?
Yeah, we'll see where he is. He's going to go through, and we'll see where he is today. He's going to be in a limited fashion today, and we'll see where it goes. And hopefully he's starting to improve that foot.
What have you seen from Elijah over his obviously extended period of time in that role?
Yeah, he's done well. He's functioned well in there. He's played that position, so, Brisk, plays the other spot and coming down and doing the things he does. But he's been good in the back part of the field. And he's communicated well, with Brisker, and now that we got the other guys back, he's done a good job with that. He made some plays. He's made some plays. I think he's gotten better every single week. If you go back to the Tampa game, I think he was pretty good there, and I think he's gotten better every single week.
Tyson, the completion he had to Mercedes, if you remember that one, I'm curious your reaction to just how well it was set up and what he executed and what the whole group executed well on the fake.
Yeah, the play fake was good, right? He's did a nice job of showing the hand and then tucking the ball in the hip, which was really good. And then giving the eye candy with him, really exaggerating the fake, and he came out of there nice. He could have paused maybe another second, and once he gets comfortable doing that, but he came out there with some speed, which is what you need to do, and then he delivered the ball on time. So it was a really good run by Mercedes, and getting it down there close to the end zone.
Matt, that Mac and I guess Bosa for that matter know that they've seen on film that Wright is playing with a bum shoulder or bum arm, whatever. Does that make the decision on Wright this week a little trickier, knowing that your defenders know they have a weakness they can attack?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking, on either side of the ball for weaknesses, and it'll come down to his functionality in practice. We'll see where he is, and if he can function well and do a good job with his strength and protecting himself and play at a high level, he'll be in there.
Matt, against the Raiders, we saw a little bit more pitches in the backfield. Is there a reason for that? Does that allow you to do something different offensively when you kind of use the pitch to hand the ball off?
Yeah, you can do pitches when he's behind you, at the same side. It's really just attacking the perimeter. And that's just a different way to do that. You can do it with jet sweeps, tosses. You can do it with reverses. You can do it a bunch of different ways, and really just attacking the whole width of the field. So you want to do that in the run game as well. I think when you are able to hit it up, run game inside, and also have the complement to go outside, I think that makes the multiplicity of it and harder to defend.
Has Foreman done enough the last 2 weeks to stay your number one running back when Roshan comes back?
Yeah, I think he's done well. The last couple of weeks, obviously last week was a really good performance, historical for the Bears. But again, it's a week to week, and we're just going to see how he practices. We'll evaluate the group as we go during the course of this week.
Matt, with the trade deadline a week away, Ryan was very active last year. What's sort of the process over this next week between you and him, whether that's adding, subtracting, whatever?
Yeah, just looking, communicating. He'll have me look at different players, and then we'll go from there, and then we just see where it is if we have a viable option. So we do that. All right.